So hi guys, this video is going to give you 9 tips and tricks to help you improve at Battlefield 4. You're going to be higher up on the leaderboard, you're going to get more kills, more score, impress your friends, become a better all-round player. Now just quickly, I'm not going to stress it because you guys hear it enough already, but I would really appreciate a subscribe with post notifications, liking, commenting, doing all that good YouTube stuff. You may have heard some of these tips and tricks before, bear with me, watch all the way through, there'll definitely be something in there for you that you don't already know. So starting off, we have don't move while shooting. In Battlefield 4, just like every other modern shooter these days, there's a mechanic called spread, where you're aiming at your target but your bullets are actually deviating a little bit from that target. This is in an attempt to balance so people don't just out-aim people and flatten everybody on the battlefield. So on screen right now, there's a good example of spread when moving versus when standing still. You can see that when you're standing still, your spread is much tighter, meaning you're more accurate and you're going to kill the guy faster. So up next we have spotting. Spotting is easily one of the most broken mechanics in Battlefield 4. It's so easy, all you have to do, look at the guy who you want to spot, press the button, you'll put him on the map, you'll get 25 points if somebody kills him, you'll put a Dorito on his head that's a beacon basically saying please kill me to anyone who can actually look in that vicinity. Use the spotting correctly along with the next tip I'm going to give you and you'll be a complete monster, believe me. So up next we have effectively using the minimap. The minimap is one of the most important tools in Battlefield 4 and it gives you a complete wealth of information about what's going on around you. From the minimap you can learn information such as who controls what objective, which is the best objective to go to next, where the hotspots of people are and where you're going to find the most kills, and areas to avoid because they're full of vehicles, just to name a few. So clearly you can learn a lot of information from using the minimap. But the real skill is knowing when to use it. I personally look at the minimap every few seconds, just a quick glance to see what's going on around me and to work out my game plan on where to go next. Just to summarise here, it may seem like I'm teaching you to suck eggs. You know, reading a minimap, everybody knows how to do that, it's not hard, right? But seriously, Battlefield games probably have the most information in the maps of any game that I can think off the top of my head. If you're not taking advantage of it, you are at a serious disadvantage. Next up is choosing your class appropriately. You have to base your class choice off of your map and the current situation. If I'm playing Operation Locker, there's absolutely no reason for me to be playing Recon. The gadgets that Recon provides are not going to come up to any competition to the gadgets that Assault provide and the gadgets that Support provide in infantry-based combat. But then if I was to turn the table, flip the cards, we look at Engineer on Gormwood Railway. What benefit would Engineer provide on Gormwood Railway? Well, you get the RPG, you get the repair tool, you get all these gadgets that are helpful for bringing down vehicles, which is a vehicle-based map. So you're going to be finding yourself in many more situations where you're actually able to take advantage of your class because you've picked it properly. And from that, the points flow. If I've missed the opportunity to hit a tank with an RPG shell and possibly take it out, I've missed potentially 300 points. So up next we have playing to your class's strengths, which definitely leads on from the previous point. If I'm playing an engineer on Gormwood Railway, I need to be going for tanks, I need to be going for vehicles. There's no point in me becoming an infantry only player because then the gadgets that I get from my class are no longer be providing me the specific benefit that I've chosen it for, so I'm actually losing out. If I decide I want to go and play infantry on a different objective on the same map, then just switch to Assault, switch to Support, Recon, any other class that's going to give me gadgets and primary weapons that are actually going to benefit me in that goal. Classes in Battlefield 4 are very specialist and you must make sure that you're using that specialist edge to your advantage to maximize the amount of points and kills you're getting. Otherwise, people who are doing that are going to destroy you. The next point is another point that kind of flows on from the previous 2 points, and it's looking for ways to utilize your gadgets for the team's benefit. Battlefield 4 is a points-based game. Points determine how well you're doing, not kills, deaths, blah 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 like Call of Duty. Points, ultimately, when you think about it and break it down to the basic components, is how much you've helped your team. If I capture an objective, I'm rewarded with a healthy chunk of points. If I kill a guy, I get a little chunk of points. So the more you help your team, the more points you're actually getting. If I'm spamming the med bags in Operation Locker as a medic, I'm helping my team leaps and bounds, and I'm going to be rewarded lots and lots of points for that. The same said if I'm spamming RPGs at tanks, if I'm spamming the ammo bag and Operation Locker, I'm going to be getting loads of points, helping out my team, and that ultimately is going to help you win the game, as well as put you up the top of the leaderboard. So at number 7 we have using your field perks, and for new players, field perks are basically part of your loadout, as you can see on screen now. Field perks actually provide way more benefit than you might think. When I first played the game, for the first few hundred hours or so, I had no idea what field perks do because I couldn't be bothered to read the thing properly. But once you break it down and really read it, field perks can be a huge part of your loadout. I know for myself, I like to play assault, I like to use the offensive field perk, and I don't know what I would do without the extra ammunition and extra grenade I get from having that field perk. Well, I certainly wouldn't go on as many kill streaks, that's for sure. So for you players that maybe haven't looked at field perks as in depth as you maybe should have, go back, take a look. Trust me, it will provide huge benefit to you in nearly every single situation imaginable. Definitely worth doing. The 8th tip is definitely going to set you apart from the average player. It's definitely going to give you that edge in the combat scenario, and it's going to help you out more than you can imagine, more times than you'd bother to count. It's huge, this is a massive deal, and it's tap fire. Tap fire is the term that we Battlefield players give to a method of shooting that is best used to control your spread, control your recoil, and improve your accuracy. In the process of tap firing, what's really happening? You're shooting, your spread is increasing as you shoot, it increases the longer you shoot, and once you stop firing for that brief moment, your spread resets, you start shooting again, and you have that way decreased spread that ultimately grants you an increased accuracy, and it's going to make your kill quicker, cleaner, and more efficient. Tapfire really is quite complex. I'm not going to go into detail in this video as it was a video on its own really. I suggest you go and Google it or search it up on YouTube for an in-depth explanation, but putting on certain gadgets will actually hurt your tap firing. It will increase your spread reset time, so you have to be careful of that if you're going to utilize this feature to the fullest. But yeah, looking at the on-screen example, it's night and day. So last but not least is the 9th tip. It's kind of corny, it's a bit cringe. That is what it is. I struggle with this point personally, and it's to diversify your play and have fun experimenting. Battlefield 4 has a huge amount of weapons, gadgets, vehicles, maps, content in general. There's so much to do and to experiment with. If you're having fun playing the game, you're going to come back on it the next day. You're going to try and improve a little bit. If you're not, you're going to give the game up and you're never going to improve. It's quite simple. So the best thing to do is to keep it fresh. Keep it moving between guns, don't stick with the same one permanently. You may want to specialise in one weapon for a while, make sure you're really good at it, but at the end of the day it's a video game and it's supposed to be fun. Mess around with different kind of weapons and combinations and you'll find what you really love. I can testify to that as a player with nearly 2,000 hours in the game across multiple platforms. The game gets stale, definitely, if you use the same kind of stuff over and over again. I've been having huge fun on my channel recently, testing out different kind of weapons. Go check out those videos, there's some great recommendations for some sort of wildcard weapons to use that are a bucket of fun. So yeah, you made it to the end of the video. I mean, I just want to thank you for making it all the way through. I really appreciate you watching. Please would you consider liking, subscribing with post notifications on, commenting if I missed any tips and tricks. We want to help the newer players out to improve at the game really for 2042. And yeah, I mean, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.